everyone, welcome back to my class. This is Romana Ali. I hope you all are fine. In the last session, we have discussed about the internal parts of our heart, and we have learned that our heart is a mutagenic. It's not neurogenic. It is not working on the neural signals. So it is not depending upon the neural signals. Instead, it is working by the contraction of muscles. The contraction of muscles takes place automatically. The self muscle contraction takes place in our heart, due to which heartbeat can be initiated. So we have seen that muscle tissues are of three types: skeletal muscles, smooth muscles, and cardiac muscles. Cardiac muscles are present in our heart. Firstly, we'll see the mechanism of muscle contraction, skeletal muscles. So we'll take an example of a skeletal muscle to understand the mechanism of muscle contraction. So for example, if this is a muscle cell, the receptors will be present over the cell, and as these muscle cells gets contracted based on the neural signals, because these are not cardiac muscles, they are not mutagenic, they are neurogenic. They are working on the command that is sent by the neural signals. So they are working only when they get the neural signals. Who will give these neural signals? Neural signals can be transmitted by our cells called nerve cells, or we can also call them as neuron. So neurons or the nerve cells are responsible to generate neural signals or nerve signals. These neurons or the nerve cells, they releases some chemicals, and that chemicals are called as neurotransmitter. So neurotransmitter are the chemicals that are released by these nerve cells. Once the neurotransmitters are released by the nerve cells, they will go near the cells. They are taken up by the receptors. So they will attach to the receptors that are present over the cell, and then after the neurotransmitters goes and binds to the receptors, now the sodium ions that are present, they will enter into the cell. The cell takes up the sodium ions, Na plus ions that are present outside it. So once the sodium ions enters into the cell, the muscle cell gets contracted only when the sodium ions are taken by them. So once the sodium ions enter into the cell start contraction, and hence in this way the muscle contraction can be seen. So it's a basic mechanism. The entry of sodium ions into the cells makes the cell to get contracted. That's it. When these sodium ions enter into the cell, these can enter into the cell only when the receptors takes the chemicals which are called as neurotransmitters, and these neurotransmitters are released by our nerve cells. So in this way they are working. The muscle gets contracted only when the neurotransmitters are released and when the sodium ions enters into the cell. This is how they are working based on the neural signals. So these cells are called as neurogenic, right? But when we talk about our heart, then our heart is not a neurogenic one. It is a mutagenic. It doesn't work based on the neural signals. It doesn't depend upon the neural signals. The muscles which are present, they get specialized, which are present in our heart. Some of the cardiac muscles, they get specialized, and that specialized cells can contract themselves on their own. So this is how auto-excitable state can be seen in our cardiac muscle cells. So here when we see the things that are going to happen in the mechanism of muscle cell contraction, then firstly, neuron. It is a nerve cell which releases neurotransmitter. Neurotransmitter are nothing but the chemicals that are released by the nerve cells. Then the second step is neurotransmitter will go and binds to the receptors. So they will attach to the receptors. After they attaches to the receptors, then sodium ions that are present, they can easily enter into the cell. The entry of sodium ion in the cell is called as depolarization. So depolarization occurs, after which the muscle cell contracts. These are the 4 steps that are involved in the mechanism of muscle cell contraction. Now let us talk about the contraction of cardiac muscle cells. As these cardiac muscle cells will not contract based on this mechanism, there is something different that we can see in the contraction of cardiac muscle cells. Okay, so now we'll discuss about a topic, conduction system of heart. How the different cells that are present in our heart, how they are going to contract. So by the contraction of muscles only, we can initiate the heartbeat. This is the basic diagram of our heart, or simpler diagram of our heart, where you can see two atrium and two ventricles, and all the cardiac muscle cells will be present in our heart. Our heart is made up of cardiac muscle cells, right? So out of all these cardiac muscle cells that are present in our heart, some of the muscle cells become specialized. The muscle cells which are present near to the right atrium or above the right atrium, some of the muscle cells are present which become specialized. And when you see the region beside the right atrium, some more muscle cells, cardiac muscle cells will be present that get specialized into some other cells. Likewise, the cells which are present below these specialized one, they also become different from that of cardiac muscle cells. Now let us see what are these cells, what are these specialized cells can be called. So the cells here in this region, when you see the region that is present at the top of the right atrium, some of the muscle cells get specialized, and we call these cells as SA node. This bundle of cells can be termed as SA node. These are the cells that get specialized, and they are termed as auto-excitable cells because they have the ability to contract themselves on their own. They do not require any signal from any of them or from any other part of our body, from any cell. They do not require any signal to get contracted. They are enough for themselves to get contracted. As they are contracting on their own, we call them as auto-excitable. Auto means self. So they are showing self-contraction. We can call these cells as auto-excitable cells. Now this SA node is present here, and in some other regions, like in this region, you can see some more cardiac muscle cells get specialized, and we call these cells as AV node. Then this AV node is extended and it shows some other cardiac muscle cells which can contract themselves, and this is called as, this bundle of cells can be termed as bundle of His. This bundle of His is extended into some branch of cells. We call this branch as bundle of branches. These bundle of branches are further classified and they give rise to some small branch-like structures. So these small branch-like structures are called as Purkinje fibers. All these are specialized cardiac muscle cells. We know that heart is made up of cardiac muscle cells, and all the cardiac muscle cells are connected with each other through gap junction, right? So all these cardiac muscle cells are connected to each other. So once SA node gets contracted, how it can contract, how it can show its contraction? Whenever the sodium ion gets enter into the cell, then only the cell shows contraction, right? So SA node, the cells which are present as SA node, they takes up the sodium ion into it, and once the sodium ion enters into the cell, they get contracted, and these sodium ions are further transported to other cardiac muscle cells through gap junction. This is a gap junction. So once the sodium ions enter into the SA node, this can be transferred to the other cardiac muscle cells, and then other cardiac muscle cells can also get contracted. Like this, the cardiac cells that are present in our heart, they can get contracted because of the initiation of contraction in the SA node. After the contraction initiates in the SA node, it can be further, the sodium ions that enters into the SA node, it can be further transported to the other cardiac muscles, then to the AV node, then to the bundle of hairs, then it reaches into the bundle of branches, and finally it reaches into the Purkinje fibers. Like this, all the cardiac muscle cells that are present in our heart, they show the contraction when the sodium ions are taken by them. This is how the contraction of muscle cells, especially the cardiac muscle cells, occur, which is without any nerve signal. They are not contracting when they are getting any nerve signal, but they are showing auto contraction. They are contracting on their own, self contraction they are showing. In this way, different specialized muscle cells are present in the different region of our heart, and because of these specialized muscle cells, all the other cardiac muscle cells can be able to get contracted. So in this way, the conduction system of heart is formed, and we can see the conduction system in our heart. So the process by which the sodium ions enter into the cell, that is called as depolarization. And here SA node is going for self depolarization. As it is going for self depolarization for about 70 to 75 times per minute, we can say that our heart beats for 70 to 75 times per minute. So the rate of our heartbeat is based on the depolarization that is carried out by some specialized cells called SA node. So SA node can also be termed as the pacemaker, as the rate of our heartbeat depends upon the depolarization that is shown by the SA node. We can call the SA node as the pacemaker. So in this way, the contraction of SA node can be seen for about 70 to 75 times per minute. Based on this contraction only, we can say the rate of our heartbeat, and we know that our heart beats for 72 times per minute. This is because of the contraction of SA node, because of the self depolarization of this SA node. Now let us discuss about the cardiac cycle, systole and diastole. Cardiac cycle is one complete cycle that is carried out for our one heartbeat, and this shows the atrial contraction, also the ventricular contraction. This cardiac cycle shows the atrial and ventricular systole and diastole. Systole is nothing but contraction of muscles, and diastole is relaxation of the chambers. That is called as systole and diastole. So let us discuss about this cardiac cycle in detail. So once the blood enters into the atrium, once the blood enters into the left atrium as well as in the right atrium, the blood flows into the atrium and the atrium gets filled up with the blood. Once the atrium gets filled with the blood, then the valves which are present at the end of these two atrium, it gets open. The opening of the valve takes place. After the opening of the valve, the blood which is present in the atrium, it flows down into the ventricles. In the ventricle, there is some range, there is some volume of blood that is always present in our ventricle. Ventricle will never be empty. This is always filled with some amount of blood. This is the volume of blood which is always present in our ventricles. And then once the opening of the valve takes place, then the blood which is present in our atrium, it will enter into the ventricle, and that blood enters before the contraction of atrium. The atrium will not contract. So the blood which is coming from the atrium into the ventricle by the opening of these valves, it is coming passively. Passively the blood flows from the atrium into the ventricle. Now once the blood enters into the ventricle, then the contraction of atrium starts because of the contraction of SA node and AV node which we learned just before. So due to the contraction of specialized muscles, the atrium start contracting. And once the atrium contract, then some amount of blood will flows down into the ventricle again, that is on the contraction of atrium. So after the contraction of atrium, the atrium will start relaxing, and during the relaxation these valves, they get closed. So after the contraction of atrium, when the blood flows into the ventricle, after the blood enters into the ventricle, now the valves which are present in between the atrium and ventricle, they get closed. So what are the valves that are present in between the atrium and ventricle? In the last session I already explained you that the valves which are present in between the atrium and ventricle, we call these valves as atrioventricular valves, and the valve which is present in between right atrium and right ventricle, that is called as tricuspid valve, and the valve which is present in between the left atrium and left ventricle, that is named as bicuspid valve. So these two valves, tricuspid and bicuspid valves, gets closed after the contraction of atrium. Now the blood which is present in our ventricle, it will try to enter into the atrium, but as the valves get closed, they cannot enter into the atrium. The blood which is present into the ventricle, it should go somewhere. The blood will start flowing towards the arteries that are present. The pulmonary artery and the aorta is present. The blood from the right ventricle goes into the pulmonary artery, and the blood from the left ventricle goes into our aorta. So the blood which is present in the ventricle, it starts flowing towards these arteries, and here in between the ventricle and artery also we can see the presence of a valve. So this valve gets open when the blood starts flowing towards this artery. The contraction of ventricle takes place. Due to the contraction of ventricle only, the blood which is present in this ventricle flows into the arteries. But there is a chance of blood to flow back into the ventricle. This would not happen because as soon as the ventricle gets relaxed, these valves gets closed. So the closing of these valves can be seen only when the ventricles are in a relaxed condition. So whenever the ventricles gets relaxed, at that time these valves gets closed and they do not allow the blood to flow back into the ventricles. This is how the blood flows. The blood circulates due to the contraction of atrium and ventricle, and also because of the relaxation of atrium and ventricle. So whenever the atrium contracts, we call the contraction of atrium as atrial systole. When the atrial relaxation takes place, then this stage is called as atrial diastole. So basically systole is nothing but contraction. Diastole is a word which means relaxation. Atrial contraction takes place, atrial relaxation takes place, ventricular contraction can also be seen, and even ventricle will also gets relaxed. So ventricular contraction means ventricular systole we can say, and the last one is ventricular relaxation. This can be termed as ventricular diastole. So atrial systole, atrial diastole, ventricular systole and ventricular diastole. These are the four basic stages that can be seen in our cardiac cycle, and cardiac cycle is one complete cycle which produces one heartbeat, and in that heartbeat we can find a sound called lub-dub sound, and this whole thing happens. One complete cardiac cycle can be done within 0.8 seconds. So it only takes 0.8 seconds, not even 1 second. It is taking just 0.8 seconds to complete one cardiac cycle. That means to complete the contraction and relaxation of both atrium and ventricle. Due to the contraction and relaxation of atrium and ventricle only, the blood can be flows into the different parts of our body, and it can also sent to the lungs for the process of oxygenation. And in 1 minute cardiac cycle, 70 to 75 times the cardiac cycle can takes place. If we can say that in a minute our heart beats for 72 times. For each heartbeat, one cardiac cycle will occur, and one cardiac cycle can complete within 0.8 seconds. So that's all for today. Meet you in next class. Thank you.